You know, I was scrolling through my feed the other day, and it really hit me
Hmm.
just how many Filipino freelancers are sharing their holiday bonuses and like their paychecks.
Right.
It's kind of fascinating, right?
It is.
We're diving into something, it's both kind of celebratory and sensitive.
Huh?
Money.
Yes.
That's what makes this deep dive so interesting, I think.
Mm-hmm.
We get to really explore
Yeah.
those different perspectives on this trend.
I think what's really captivating is how this trend
Yeah.
challenges cultural norms.
Right.
We often see money as something private, almost like taboo,
Yeah.
to discuss openly.
Yeah.
But these Filipino freelancers are just putting it right out there.
It's bold.
Yeah.
And our sources show there are some strong feelings on both sides.
Absolutely.
Some see it as empowering, while others are kind of waving that privacy flag.
Yeah.
Let's start with the celebratory side.
Oh.
Think about the pride these freelancers feel,
Yeah.
especially succeeding in a global market. It's true.
They're not just earning a living.
Right.
They are competing internationally.
Yes.
And the fact that they're shouting it from the rooftops,
Mm-hmm.
that's inspiring,
Yeah,
especially for aspiring freelancers.
absolutely.
One source even
Yeah.
said it shows that Filipino freelancers can earn those competitive global rates.
It's a statement.
Yeah, it's like they're saying, we're here,
Right.
we're talented, and we're getting paid what we deserve.
Exactly. It's like this beacon of hope for those who might be struggling or doubting their own potential.
Yeah.
And then on a broader level, it chips away at that taboo
Mhm.
surrounding money.
Yes.
One of our sources actually even specifically states
Oh, really?
that it helps to break the taboo.
Hmm.
Imagine the impact that this could have on negotiating rates.
Right.
When people are open about what they're earning,
Yeah.
it can lead to more honest and productive conversations about worth.
Instead of kind of whispering about rates in hushed tones, it becomes
A more level playing field. I
Yeah.
can see how that could benefit the entire freelance community.
absolutely.
But let's flip the coin.
Okay.
What about those concerns around sharing?
Mm-hmm.
One that really stood out to me was the potential for emotional distress.
Yes, it's a valid concern.
Mm-hmm.
Not everyone is experiencing the same level of success.
Right.
Seeing others celebrate big wins,
Mm.
especially during tough economic times,
Right.
can be a punch in the gut
Yeah.
for those who are struggling.
It's almost like adding salt to the wound.
Mm-hmm.
And one source even said it can cause emotional distress to those who received little or no bonus,
Wow.
highlighting that sensitivity is absolutely key.
Sensitivity is key.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Another concern that can't be ignored is the risk of attracting unwanted attention.
Right.
And I'm not just talking about nosy neighbors.
Oh,
We're talking about scammers and those who might exploit this information for malicious purposes.
that's scary.
Mm.
It's a sobering reminder that the internet can be kind of a dangerous place,
It is.
especially when we're revealing sensitive financial details.
Right.
It seems like there's a tightrope walk here.
Yeah.
The excitement of sharing versus those potential downsides. So is there a right way to approach this?
You know, instead of focusing on a right or wrong way, let's consider the how.
Okay, so responsible sharing. Let's
Yeah.
unpack that. What
Right.
does that actually look like?
It's about providing context.
Hmm.
Imagine you're sharing a delicious recipe.
Right.
You wouldn't just list the ingredients, right?
Of course not.
You'd explain the steps,
Yeah.
the techniques,
Yeah.
maybe even some personal tips and tricks.
Right.
Sharing earnings responsibly is similar.
Okay.
Instead of just flashing a number, share your journey.
Hmm.
How did you get there?
Okay.
How many years of experience do you have?
Mm-hmm.
What skills did you develop along the way?
So it's less about bragging and more about
Makes sense.
sharing a holistic picture. You're painting a realistic scene, not just a glamorous snapshot.
Exactly. And it's equally important to acknowledge privilege.
Okay.
Let's say you hit a home run in a baseball game.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, you can celebrate your win,
Right.
but don't forget to acknowledge the team,
Yeah.
the coaches,
Mm-hmm.
the fans who supported you along the way.
Right.
It's the same with freelance success.
Okay.
Those who are fortunate enough to be doing well should acknowledge that not everyone
Yeah.
has there's opportunities, resources, or support systems.
And that kind of shifts the focus from boasting to gratitude, maybe even a little bit of paying it forward.
Precisely. It's about fostering a spirit of community rather than creating a hierarchy of haves and have-nots.
Mm-hmm.
But let's not forget, Keeping earnings private is absolutely a valid choice,
Oh,
too.
right.
It's not about shaming those who choose to remain silent about their finances.
So it's not about judging or comparing, but rather about respecting those individual choices.
Yes.
Some people might feel uncomfortable sharing such personal information, and that's perfectly okay.
Absolutely. Financial success doesn't need a social media stamp of approval.
Right.
It's a personal journey.
Yeah.
Everyone has the right to navigate it in their own way, but even with the best intentions,
Yeah.
sharing earnings can have some unexpected downsides.
Oh, this is what I was particularly curious about.
Okay.
Our sources list several potential downsides, especially when it comes to the emotional and professional ripples within the freelance community.
Yes. The first one that springs to mind is the comparison game. Picture a field of sunflowers,
Okay.
each turning its face toward the sun.
All right.
But what happens when one sunflower grows taller, blooms brighter?
Yeah.
The others might start to feel inadequate, as if they're not getting enough sunlight.
Right.
It's the same with social media. When we're constantly bombarded with images of financial success,
Yeah.
it's easy to fall into that trap of comparison and feel envious or inadequate.
And that can lead to anxiety, self-doubt,
Absolutely.
even strained relationships.
Mhm.
Instead of celebrating each other's successes,
Right.
we start to see each other as competition.
Exactly. Especially for newcomers who are still finding their footing.
Yeah.
It can create this unspoken pressure to keep up.
Oh,
It's crucial to remember that everyone's journey is different,
right.
and success isn't a one-size-fits-all concept. And then there's the very real danger of attracting scammers.
Oh, that's a chilling thought. The more we reveal about our financial status online,
Yes.
the more vulnerable we become to
Exactly.
those who might want to exploit that information.
It's like leaving a trail of breadcrumbs,
Yeah.
leading straight to your bank account.
Oh, wow.
And it's not just about scammers. Sharing earnings can also contribute to a distorted view of success.
Okay.
Think about reality TV shows.
Right.
They edit out the mundane, the struggles, the behind-the-scenes chaos,
Yeah.
and present a curated version of reality. It's the same with social media.
Okay.
People tend to showcase their wins more than their losses, which can create a misleading image of what freelancing really entails.
It's like looking through a filtered lens, seeing only the highlight reel, not the full story.
Exactly. And it can be incredibly discouraging,
Yeah.
especially for those who are new to freelancing and might be comparing their beginnings to someone else's highlight reel.
Right.
It sets unrealistic expectations
Yeah.
and can even lead to disillusionment.
So we've talked about those potential downsides.
Right.
And that's got me thinking, is there like a don't list,
No,
like some red flags or things to absolutely avoid
Yeah, okay.
when it comes to sharing earnings online?
You're spot on. Let's think of it as like a safety guide,
Okay.
not a rule book. First and foremost, never ever share sensitive financial information,
Okay.
like bank account details or client contracts.
Yeah.
That's like leaving your front door wide open
Right.
with a neon sign saying, "Come on in."
Basically an invitation for trouble.
Absolutely.
What else should we be cautious about?
Avoid making assumptions about others'
Yeah.
financial situations.
Right.
Just because someone chooses not to share their earnings
Right.
doesn't mean they're struggling.
Yeah.
They might have different priorities,
Right.
financial goals,
Okay.
or simply prefer to keep their finances private.
It goes back to respecting those boundaries.
Exactly.
Recognizing that everyone has different comfort levels
Yeah.
when it comes to financial transparency.
Yes.
What about comparing ourselves to others?
Yeah.
Is that a no-no?
Absolutely. That's so easy to fall into that trap,
Yeah.
especially when we're constantly bombarded with success stories online.
Right.
Never shame or belittle others who might not be earning as much as you.
Right.
Remember, everyone's journey is different.
Yeah.
Success isn't a linear path.
It's about celebrating each other's wins,
Absolutely.
offering support during challenges, and recognizing that financial success is just one piece of the puzzle.
One piece of the puzzle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Are there any other red flags?
Yeah. Are there any other red flags to watch out for?
Timing is crucial.
Okay.
Sharing a major financial win
Yeah.
during a time when many are struggling
Right.
can come across as insensitive.
Yeah.
It's like throwing a lavish party
Yeah.
in the middle of a famine.
Right. It's about reading the room.
Exactly.
Being mindful of that overall economic climate.
Yes.
And that brings us back to the importance of context.
Absolutely.
If you do choose to share your earnings,
Yeah.
make sure you provide enough background information
Yes.
to paint a realistic picture.
Exactly. Don't just throw out a number
Right.
without explaining how you got there.
Okay.
Share your experience, the skills you developed, the challenges you overcame,
Right.
the mistakes you made along the way.
Right. So success is rarely an overnight phenomenon.
Rare.
It's usually the result of years of hard work. Absolutely.
Dedication.
Yes.
Often a fair share of setbacks.
That's setbacks.
So it's about being honest and transparent,
Yes.
both about the wins and the struggle.
And the struggles.
Okay, so we've covered the don'ts,
Okay.
but is there a way to flip this around? Can sharing earnings actually be valuable
Yes.
for the freelance community?
Absolutely. It's like any tool. It can be used for good or for harm.
Right.
Instead of focusing solely on that monetary aspect,
Okay.
shift the focus to sharing knowledge and resources.
So instead of a look-at-me approach, it's more about sharing the how
Exactly.
and the why behind your success.
Exactly. Think of it as sharing for educational purposes.
Okay.
Did you land a big client? Share tips on how you crafted your proposal
Right.
or negotiated your rates.
Right.
Did you overcome a major challenge? Share the lessons you learned, the strategies you used to bounce back. It's about transforming sharing from a potential source of envy and division into a catalyst for learning and growth.
Absolutely.
And that can benefit the entire freelance community.
Precisely. Instead of just showcasing your wins, be honest about the challenges you faced along the way.
Okay.
What mistakes did you make?
Right.
What lessons did you learn?
Yeah.
What resources did you find helpful?
That kind of vulnerability can be incredibly powerful.
Absolutely.
Especially for those who are still navigating
Yes.
the ups and downs of freelance life.
It creates a sense of camaraderie,
Yeah.
a feeling that we're all in this together, learning and growing alongside one another.
Right.
And that's where the real magic happens.
You know, when we first started talking about this, I have to admit, I was a bit skeptical about the potential advantages of sharing earnings. But now looking at the research, I'm actually surprised by some of the benefits.
I know, right? It seems counterintuitive.
Yeah.
But when done thoughtfully and responsibly, sharing earnings can actually create a ripple effect of positive change within the freelance ecosystem.
One advantage that immediately jumps out to me is market rate awareness.
Yes.
Like crowdsourcing data to create a more transparent and equitable playing field.
Imagine a world where freelancers have a clear understanding
Right.
of what their skills and experience are worth.
Yeah.
No more underbidding, no more exploitation.
Right.
Sharing earnings data can help make that vision a reality.
It's especially empowering for those who are new to freelancing
Yeah.
or might be hesitant to negotiate higher rates.
Absolutely.
Seeing what others are earning
Yeah.
can give them the confidence and the data points they need to advocate for themselves.
And that benefits the entire community.
Right.
When freelancers are paid fairly, it raises the bar for the entire industry.
Another surprising advantage is the inspirational aspect. Seeing others succeed, especially those who come from similar backgrounds or share similar challenges, can be incredibly motivating.
It's like saying, if they can do it, so can I.
Right.
And that can spark a chain reaction of ambition and achievement within the freelance community.
Okay.
It can encourage freelancers to upskill, specialize, or even take a leap of faith and pursue their dream projects.
It reminds me of that quote, "A rising tide lifts all boats."
I love that quote.
When one freelancer succeeds, it creates that ripple effect that can inspire and empower others to reach their full potential.
And it specifically showcases the talent and the potential of Filipino freelancers on a global stage.
It's like saying to the world, hey, we're here.
Exactly.
We're skilled and we're ready to make our mark. And that can have a profound impact on the perception and opportunities available to Filipino freelancers worldwide.
Yes. Another often overlooked advantage is industry transparency.
Okay.
Sharing earnings, especially when it's done in a way that highlights unfair pay practices.
Right.
Can help shed light on shady dealings.
Okay.
And hold clients accountable.
It's like shining a spotlight on those dark corners of the industry, saying, we're not going to tolerate exploitation or underpayment.
Exactly. And that can lead to a more equitable and transparent industry for everyone involved.
Yeah.
Clients who are accustomed to lowballing freelancers
Right.
will be forced to adjust their expectations and offer fair compensation.
It creates a level playing field where quality work is valued and rewarded accordingly.
Absolutely.
And then there's the educational aspect. When earnings are shared with the right context, it can be incredibly insightful for other freelancers.
Imagine you're learning a new language.
Okay.
Reading textbooks and grammar rules can only take you so far. But listening to native speakers, observing their nuances and patterns, that's where the real learning happens. Sharing earnings can be like that. It provides a real-world glimpse into the financial landscape of freelancing.
So it's like learning from each other's experiences.
Exactly.
Gaining valuable insights that you might not find in any textbook or online course.
Exactly. You can see the progression of earnings over time. Right. The skills that command higher rates, the different paths freelancers take to achieve success. It's like having a mentor in your pocket, sharing their wisdom and guiding you along your own journey.
Okay, and it's not just about individual growth. It can also contribute to a stronger sense of community.
It's like creating a shared space where freelancers can connect, share knowledge, support each other's financial well-being.
It's about shifting the focus from competition to collaboration. Instead of viewing each other as rivals vying for the same slice of the pie, we start to see each other as allies working together.
Yes.
To bake a bigger, more delicious pie for everyone.
And perhaps one of the most unexpected advantages is client education.
Okay.
When clients see what freelancers are actually earning, it gives them a better understanding of fair market value.
It's like saying, hey, this is what quality work costs. If you want top talent, you need to be prepared to invest in it.
Exactly. It helps set realistic expectations and prevents clients from undervaluing freelance services.
And that can ultimately lead to attracting better paying clients and raising the bar.
Absolutely.
For the entire industry.
It's a win-win for everyone involved.
But it's crucial to remember that these advantages only apply when sharing is done responsibly.
Yes.
And authentically.
Responsibly and authentically. It's not about boasting or showing off. But rather about using this information to empower and educate others.
Empower and educate.
And that leads us to another fascinating aspect of sharing earnings, one that often gets overlooked. The power of personal branding.
You're right. In today's digital age, how we present ourselves online can have a huge impact on our careers, especially for freelancers. Who are essentially their own walking, talking brands.
So it's not just about attracting clients.
Exactly.
But also about establishing yourself as a thought leader, an expert in your field.
Exactly. When you consistently share valuable content, including insights into your earnings and how you achieve them, it can position you as a credible and successful professional.
It's like saying, I know my worth.
Exactly.
I deliver results, and this is what I charge for my expertise.
Exactly. It can open doors to speaking engagements, consulting opportunities, partnerships, even collaborations with other industry leaders. It's like turning your financial transparency into a strategic asset.
Absolutely.
One that can help you build a thriving and sustainable freelance career.
But as with any form of self-promotion, authenticity is key. If it feels forced, boastful, or inauthentic, it can backfire.
It's about striking that balance between sharing your successes and remaining relatable and grounded.
The goal is to add value, not noise. To inspire, not intimidate. To empower, not alienate.
We've explored a lot of ground here, the motivations behind sharing earnings, the potential pitfalls, the importance of responsible sharing, and even some surprising advantages. But what does it all mean for our listener, the individual freelancer navigating this ever-evolving landscape?
That's the million-dollar question, right? And I think the answer lies in recognizing that there is no one-size-fits-all approach.
So it's not about blindly following trends.
Absolutely not.
Or feeling pressured to conform.
Like it's a personal decision that should be based on your own comfort level, values, and goals.
What works for one freelancer might be a complete disaster for another.
Absolutely.
And that's okay.
That's okay. It's about finding what feels authentic and aligned with your own brand and values.
And recognizing that success is multifaceted.
Yeah.
It's not just about the number in your bank account,
Right.
but also about the quality of your work.
Absolutely.
The strength of your client relationships and your overall well-being.
Exactly. Financial success is just one piece of the puzzle. It's about finding that sweet spot where you feel financially secure, creatively fulfilled, and personally satisfied with the work you're doing and the life you're building.
So for our listener who is listening to all of this, trying to figure out their own approach, what questions should they be asking themselves?
First and foremost, why?
Okay.
Why do you want to share this information? Is it to inspire others?
Right.
Educate your audience?
Yeah.
Build your brand? Or is it driven by ego or desire for validation?
It's about being brutally honest with yourself.
Absolutely.
About your motivations.
Yes.
What's the driving force behind this desire to share, and how will it impact your audience?
Exactly. Think about the potential ripple effects of your actions.
Okay.
Could it inspire or discourage others? Could it create unrealistic expectations or fuel unhealthy comparisons?
Right.
Could it attract unwanted attention or put you at risk?
It's about weighing those potential benefits against the potential downside.
Exactly.
And if you do decide to share, think about how you can do it responsibly.
How can you provide context, avoid sensitive information, ensure that your message is adding value to your audience and the community as a whole?
It's about being a responsible steward of this information, using it to uplift and empower rather than divide and discourage.
And remember, it's okay to change your mind.
Right.
What feels right today might not feel right tomorrow. It's an evolving conversation.
Yeah.
And it's important to stay flexible, adaptable, responsive to the feedback you receive.
So it's not about setting a rigid rule, but rather about having an ongoing dialogue with yourself, your audience, and the freelance community as a whole.
Exactly. It's about finding that sweet spot where you're being true to yourself while also being mindful of the impact your actions have on others.
So far, we've focused a lot on the decision to share, but we haven't fully explored the other side of the coin.
Okay.
The decision to keep earnings private.
Yes.
What about those who feel more comfortable keeping their finances under wraps?
That's a crucial point. It's equally important to validate the choice.
Right.
To keep earnings private.
Okay.
There are many legitimate reasons
Yeah.
why someone might choose this path.
Absolutely. Some people might simply prefer to keep their personal and professional lives separate. Others might have concerns about privacy or security, and some might simply not feel comfortable discussing money publicly.
And all of those reasons are perfectly valid.
Right.
There's no right or wrong answer here.
Yeah.
It's a personal choice that should be respected.
Right.
Just like the choice to share.
But what about the argument that keeping earnings private perpetuates the taboo around money?
Okay.
And prevents open discussions about fair compensation?
That's a valid concern. But remember, there are other ways to advocate for fair pay.
Okay.
Without disclosing your own earnings.
For example?
You can share articles or resources about market rates, negotiation tips, financial literacy.
Okay.
You can support organizations that promote fair labor practices or advocate for freelancers' rights.
So it's about finding ways to contribute to the conversation.
Exactly.
Without feeling pressured to reveal personal information.
You can mentor other freelancers and help them negotiate better rates.
Right.
You can use your platform to highlight the value of freelance work. Educate clients about fair compensation.
It's about finding your own unique way to make a difference.
Absolutely.
Whether it's through direct action, education, or simply by being a positive and supportive force within the freelance community.
And ultimately, it's about recognizing that both choices, sharing and keeping private, are valid and should be respected.
Right.
There's no one-size-fits-all answer here. It's about finding what feels right for you and your own unique circumstances.
We've talked about sharing, about keeping things private. It feels like we've really gone deep on the what of this whole trend. But I'm curious about the so what now?
Okay.
Where does this all lead for the future of freelancing?
That's the question, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like we're standing at a crossroads.
Right.
And there are so many paths ahead.
Yeah.
One thing's for sure, The freelance landscape is constantly shifting. What feels right today might not feel right tomorrow.
So it's less about setting hard and fast rules.
Exactly.
More about staying adaptable, informed, and engaged in the conversation.
We need to keep those dialogues open within the community.
Yeah.
It's about fostering a culture of respect and understanding, regardless of the choices individual freelancers make.
Looking ahead, do you think we'll see a shift away from simply following trends towards more mindful and intentional decision-making when it comes to finances?
I think that's a natural progression.
Okay.
As freelancers become more aware of the potential impact of sharing, both positive and negative, they'll naturally gravitate towards more conscious choices.
And maybe a deeper appreciation for the diversity of perspectives within the freelance community.
Absolutely.
No one-size-fits-all approach, right?
The beauty of freelancing is that it allows for so much individuality.
Yeah.
What works for one person might not work for another, and that's okay.
Right.
It's about celebrating those differences and creating a space where everyone feels supported and valued, regardless of their choices.
And as technology evolves, I wonder if we'll see new tools emerge that offer more nuanced ways to share financial information. Maybe platforms designed specifically for freelancers to share earnings data anonymously or with specific groups.
That's a fascinating possibility. Imagine a platform where freelancers could securely share their earnings, broken down by industry, experience level, project type. All while protecting their identities. It could be a game changer for market rate transparency.
It would be like having access to a real-time database of freelance earnings.
Exactly.
Allowing for more informed decision-making.
Absolutely.
Both for freelancers setting their rates and clients seeking to hire top talent.
And it could even help prevent exploitation and underpayment. Creating a more equitable and sustainable freelance ecosystem for everyone. But even as technology advances, we can't lose sight of the human element at the heart of this conversation.
Ultimately, it's about fostering a community where everyone feels safe, respected, and supported.
Absolutely.
Regardless of their financial situation or their choices about sharing.
Exactly. It's about empathy. It's about connection. It's about building a community where we can learn from each other, support each other, and celebrate each other's successes.
As we wrap up this deep dive into the world of freelance earnings and social media, what's the one key takeaway you want to leave our listener with today?
I think it circles back to mindful sharing.
Okay.
Whether you choose to share your earnings or keep them private, do it with intention. Think about your why, your how, and the potential impact of your actions, both on yourself and on others.
And remember, success isn't just about the numbers in your bank account. It's about creating a life and a career that feels fulfilling and aligned with your values.
So as you navigate the exciting world of freelancing, keep asking questions. Keep learning, keep growing, and keep connecting with your fellow freelancers.
We hope this deep dive has sparked some insightful reflections. And maybe even inspire you to approach this topic with a fresh perspective.
And remember, you have the power to shape the future of freelancing by making conscious choices and engaging in open dialogues. We can collectively create a more equitable, transparent, and thriving freelance ecosystem for everyone.
That's a great note to end on. To our listener, thanks for diving deep with us.
Absolutely.
And until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and keep those conversations going.